Game of the week. I'm not going to say game of the season, but maybe game of the season.
Game of the season in the NFC.
49ers and Eagles. 49ers are 1-point road favorites over the Eagles at DraftKings. 46 is your total. You see the Eagles come back today, a very hard-fought victory against a very good effort from the Bills team. You see the 49ers just look like an absolute machine for the second week in a row now. They come out of that game pretty healthy as well, so we expect a full effort. 49ers across the country here to face the Eagles. 1-point favorites, so basically a coin flip. What say you?
Well, this is tough for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to bet this game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go against my power rankings, though.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think the home field advantage is for Philadelphia?
I'll take the point. I'll say 1.5.
Okay, so that means that the Niners would be 2.5-point favorites on a neutral. That they would be 4.5, 4.5 at home. Do you agree with that?
Given this state and given the game we just watched, coming off of an overtime, all the things and like that, I mean, it probably so.
So if they played in 2 weeks, they both had to bye. I couldn't get to 2.5 Eagles on a neutral.
Yeah.
But because of the situation, I like this Niners team to win this football game. I mean, they're getting extra rest because of the Thanksgiving game. They're completely healthy here. We talked about this Eagles schedule. This is the fourth straight game that's a monster game for them. They have the Cowboys the week after this, I believe. Like this is a really rough spot for the Eagles. They played the Chiefs. That was a very close, hard-fought game. They play the Bills. They go to overtime. They pull that one out. It's just hard to get up for these games week after week after week. And you've got a 2-game lead in the NFC now. And the more important game is the Cowboys game, not this Niners game. I'm not saying that they're not going to be up for it, but it's hard to be at that level every single week. I think this is a great spot for the Niners.
You look, again, it's everything you just said, plus the fact that they had to play this overtime game. The defense is out there for another grueling. I mean, listen, that was a long drive by the Bills, and so it was another 5-minute drive that they had to deal with. There's just a lot that they've had to go through here, and so all the little nicks and bruises, this is another thing to mention, and it didn't end up biting them today. It didn't end up biting us as bettors, luckily, but Lane Johnson woke up, and his groin didn't work. And so, like, it was, listen, we're talking about one of the we talk about offensive linemen a lot, Mike. There are very few offensive linemen where you look and you're like, that guy truly makes a real difference because he has been doing it in this league for a very long time at a very, very high level, and that is Lane Johnson for sure. And so, especially with the type of football that the Eagles want to play. So they got away with it today. We have to monitor that a ton too, man. I don't want to be playing the Eagles if they're not going to be down, if they're going to be down their best offensive linemen, all the things. So everything I know right now also leans me towards the 49ers. Probably will have to put something in the account as well, because certainly if we get word Lane Johnson's going to be out, definitely. Fletcher Cox had to leave the game as well. Fletcher Cox is out in that game. This thing could have, I don't know if it'll get to 3. It could approach 3.
Jalen Carter was hurt twice today in that game. Went to the sidelines twice. Here's the other issue. Eagles have looked bad in the first half the last 2 weeks. 17-7 both games against the Chiefs and the Bills. Looked like they were dead. They rose from the grave, played phenomenal in the second half, able to get the job done. You don't want to be down 17-7 at half to this Niners team. You better come out in the first half and play better than you have the last 2 weeks, because this Niners team will not let you back in that game. So this to me is a pretty easy one that's going to end up in the account here. Niners -1. I was thinking this game was going to be 3 because of the situational spot. But when you think about that, I mean, I could never make it 4.5 on a neutral, right? So I understand why it is where it is. And this is going to be a really interesting game in the market all week too, because I think a lot of people are going to approach this the way I did. My numbers don't get to that. My numbers say I should be on the Eagles in this game, but the situation screams 49ers. So then you make the decision, all right, which way do I want to go? And I have the Eagles power rated higher than most people. I'm still saying 49ers here.
Yeah, you look, and it's the extra rest for the Niners, and then you look, and so the Eagles run 65 plays today. The Bills run 92 plays today. That defense was on the field for 92 plays in that cold rain, pretty, I mean, seriously, like pretty tight game the whole way, in which they had to be like at full the whole time. I'm going to have to do it on the break.
Yeah, if you're into the revenge angle too. NFC Championship rematch where
I have to do it on the break.
The Eagles knocked the 49ers out of the NFC playoffs last year. So it's a situation where you already have some type of offensive scheme as well. You expect Shanahan going to be able to scheme it up here. Like, not excited to bet against this Eagles team, but to me this is Niners or nothing, and I'm going to go with the Niners here.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.